Hi guys and welcome back. We are going into the last 10 minutes of the grade 11 show. I can't believe how fast it's gone. So if you do have any questions, please post them now. Mosa, we do have your question lined up, so it is coming up. So keep your eyes peeled. Haley,
Thanks,
take it
Indy.
away.
Okay, let's see if we can finish this and then we will get to the other questions. So I'm going to calculate the range of rainfall for City 1 over the 12-month period. So remember, my range is my highest minus my lowest. So let's go back to my table. And City 1 is my blue. So I'm going to actually draw a line across my right to get the highest for City 1. Remember, that was my blue. So there's my highest, okay? So that's 110. And my lowest for City 1 was December, which was 10 centimeters. So my range, let's get to the next question. For City 1 was 110 millimeters minus my 10 millimeters, and that was 100 millimeters. So that's my range. Calculate the mean rainfall for City 1 over the summer months. That's November, December, and January. Round off your answer to 2 decimal places. So my mean, and I just want it over those 3 months. So I've got November, December, and January for City 1. So let's go back to my graph. City 1. City 1 was my blue. I need November, December, and January. So I've got 20 plus 20 plus 10. Because remember, they were all rounded to a whole number. So I've got 20 plus 20 plus 10. That was, I don't remember where the 10 was. Yeah, it was December. Okay, so we've got a total of 50, and we're looking at our mean. So divide that by 3, and it said round to 2 decimal places. Now, get my calculator out. So 50 divided by 3, 16,67. So 16,67. And remember, these were millimeters. So we continue to use millimeters. Determine the mode of the rainfall for City 2 for the year. So the mode, we're looking for the month where it rained the same. So let's go back, and we're looking at City 2 this time. So City 2 is my white one, and I'm going to use my ruler again. Right, I've lost my ruler. Okay, I've got 2 cities that are at 120. Let me check if I've got any others that are exactly the same. I've got 2 that are at 80. This is really not cooperating with me, Indy. I've got 2 that are 80, and let me see if I've got any more that are the same. We're looking at our white. Those aren't the same. So looks like we've got 2, and we've got 2 at 10. So in actual fact, I've got 3 months where I've got the same amount. I don't have one where it stands out as, okay, I don't have one where we've got the same number. So we're looking at our modal. Okay, I'm struggling to move this. So I'm looking for either where we've got 3 months, but I've got 2 months, which are the same. So in actual fact, my answer is going to be, well, okay, January and November. And then the next one would be, okay, March and October. Those are the same. And finally, June and August. So my actual answer is a little bit more complicated than just giving 1 month. Calculate, determine the mode for the rainfall for City 2 for the year. So my mode is, in actual fact, it was the 120 and the 80. I think it was 80 and the 10. And just go back and double check that was 80. So that was 80 and the 10. So I've got 3 modes. Now remember, that's possible. We can have more than 1 mode, and we can also have no mode, and that can be an answer. So if you got no mode, still a valid answer. Let's see what our next question says. Right. Determine the median rainfall for City 2 for the year. Right, well, now we're going to have to put these all into order and determine the middle value. So let's go back to our calculation. Indy, you're going to have to keep looking for
I'm
City
awake.
2, and I need you to keep hold of these values. So City 2 is our white one. We've got 120, 100, 80, 50, 20, 10, 0. Important that there's nothing in July. 10, 40, 80, 120, and 110. Have we got all those values?
Got it. City
Okay. City 2. So let's put our thing. So most important thing to note about this is that in July we had no rainfall, but it still counts as a month. So we have to actually have, so okay, let's give me those values back. So we had
120,
120,
100,
100,
80,
80,
50,
50,
20,
20,
10,
10,
0,
0,
10,
10,
40,
40,
80,
80,
120,
120,
and 110.
and 110. Okay, so I think that it's quite easy for us to put these into order. So we've got, I'm going to start with our highest. We've got 120, 120. So those accounts for those two. Then I've got 110. Okay, and then I've got two 80s. I've got, I've got 100. Let's move our 80s. No, it's not going to move my 80s across. Okay, I've got 100, 80, 80, and carry on. 80, 80, then I had 50, 40, 20, 10, 10, and 0. Now double check, I've got 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 months. So I've got the entire year. Now I'm looking for the median. That's my value between my 2 in the middle. So I'm going to count 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And my median is actually between 80 and 50. So on my calculator, I'm going to say, well, 80 plus 50 and divided by 2. And my value is 65. So the median in this case was 65. Let's use a different color. Was 65. Right. Is it realistic that City 2 actually made 0 millimeters of rain in July? Is it realistic? Well, what we have to look at in this case is our context. Could they have had no rain? Probably not, because they had rain in June and they had rain in August, so probably not. But remember at our beginning, we rounded off to the nearest, we rounded to the nearest 10. So if we rounded to the nearest 10, then they could have had as much as 4 millimeters of rain, and we would have rounded that off to 0 millimeters. Rounded that off to 0 millimeters. Okay, so is it realistic? Probably not, and they probably did have some rain. I think that answers the rest of the questions, but now there was a child who wanted to know, what was her name, Indy?
This one was from Musa. Let me just
Musa.
have a look. Do you want me to read it out for you?
Okay, read it out. I think she wanted to know about interquartile range.
Yeah. She said, can you please explain what an interquartile range is?
Okay, so interquartile range, Musa, right, what we have is when we have values, we start off, if we place our values in order, let's start off with our smallest value. We've got our minimum value. And our biggest number will be our maximum number. Okay, so we got my minimum, and that's how I would get my range from my min minus my small. Okay, so if these were all values. In the middle of this table, I have my median. That's my middle value. The middle of my lower half, I actually have my Q1. That is my quartile 1. And the middle of my top, I have Q3. So what I've basically done, if I take a different color, is I have divided all my values into quarters. 25% there, 25% there, 25 there, and finally 25 at the end. Okay, so I've divided it into 4. My interquartile range takes the value between Q3 and Q1 and gives me 50% of the values that are closest to the median. And the reason we use that is it excludes outliers, both small and big. So it gives you your range of 50 values closest to your median. And interquartile range is actually, your interquartile range is actually Q3 minus Q1. I hope that actually helped, Indy, and I don't know if I've got any more time to carry on explaining this, but I feel like I'm running out of time. I think I'm running out of time. I'm going to say
Okay.
goodbye to everybody. I'm going to hand over to Indy, who's
Oh,
going to end off the show.
guys. I can't believe how fast this show has gone, guys. Grade 11s, I hope that you had an awesome time. If there is anything that you are still wondering, please post it on the page, and either we will help you out on the page or another mindset will help you out on the page. This community is for all of us. It's for you guys to learn more and to learn extra. Grade 12s, you're next, and prelims are coming up, so let's make sure that we are tuning in so we can really, really do well at those. Grade 11s, you've been so awesome. Just in case you did miss the answer for the squares, we posted a picture on Facebook that said how many squares are in the picture, and the answer is 40. True story. Go and have another little count. Thank you so much, guys, for an awesome show. See you same time, same place next week. Bye.